Well, when all of our sisters met in the year 2000, we said we know that we're trying to reach out in justice to all the needs that we see around us. But is there a place where we're not reaching out? And one of the sisters said, I don't think we're doing justice to the earth. And that rang a bell for me, and it said, that's what I want to continue doing.
In 2004, we were able to purchase this 15-acre site. Thanks to being a member of the Racine Dominican community, they purchased these 15 acres. So the plan was we were going to be an outdoor classroom and have people be able to have hands-on experience in caring for the earth, because we really feel that, you know, unless you get to know the earth and know the land, you're not going to get to love it. And if you don't love it, you're not going to work hard to care for it and sustain it.
In the year 2000, we had a meeting of the whole community instead of business. We said, gather the dreamers, and we could put down anything that we dreamt about or would like to see done. And there was about 6 of us that would like to see us working and care for the earth, teaching people the relationship between animals, plants, and people. It was one of my dreams. And so eventually the community purchased this land, and we came to live here.
We, in the year 2000, as a whole community, being a special year, the bicentennial, decided to do some things that are different than meeting all the time. And so we had a weekend planned called Gather the Dreamers, and over 100, it was optional, but over 100 sisters decided to give that weekend for that. And there were 14 dreams in all. And one of them was to carry our statement, committed to truth, compelled to justice, further on this planet and in our environment of ministry, especially in Racine.
My vocation is as a Dominican sister, and our motto is to contemplate and to give to others the fruits of your contemplation. And it's the perfect place for contemplation. Working alone a lot, and just being so close to nature just leads to contemplation.
Well, our vocation is called to serve people, and to serve in a way that enriches others' lives, gives an example of love and caring, and sharing of who we are and what we are. And we certainly have a lot of examples of that. You know, as a religious sister, we take promises of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And you think, well, unlike some of the old definitions, obedience is the call to where we are needed. And you think, well, we in the beginning, when we had this dream of caring for the earth, we said, what does our earth need today? What does our society need today? And we needed defenders of the earth, people who care for our planet. You know, we've been aware ever since our community came to the United States in 1862, we were aware of social justice. But since the 1970s, when the Earth Day started, we realized that the Earth herself was being mistreated. And we needed defenders for caring for the Earth. And that need really was a call deep inside of me, I think, probably from growing up.
One thing is, every day I give thanks to God for the beauty of the earth, and you can really see it here. And the other thing I always remember, you're too young to know it, is the Baltimore Catechism, what we had to memorize when we were little. Why did God make you? And God made us to know, love, and serve Him in this world and be happy in the next with Him. And I think this is a wonderful place to know God serve him and his creatures and to love everybody. So it's just bringing me back to my sort of beginnings, because I grew up on a farm. And I'm sure you know Sister Janet and I are sisters. Sisters.
In our community, we celebrate either our names day, our birthday, or our baptism day. And most people celebrate their birthday, but I'm one of few who celebrates my baptism day. So my vocation comes out of my baptism. And so living wherever I have lived, not just here, has really been fulfilling for me and fulfilling my baptism.
And because we are not committed to a single love relationship, we are able to spend our time with people and share our love with everybody who comes here. So that's kind of how we are able to fulfill our vocations right here at the EcoJ.
I try to eat what we grow, and I think I'd like to do a few more social things sometimes, but I feel the call to keep the grounds, in order and things like that.
But it's a call to live simply. Instead of being dependent on the electronic world and computers and entertainment and all the expensive kinds of things, we try to cultivate through creativity and through our connection with nature a lot of crafts. We do, journaling and writing, and one of our sisters just abhors computers, so she does a lot of letter writing and journaling by hand instead of putting things on the computer. Or instead of being entertained by movies, we are entertained by doing weaving and spinning and knitting and crocheting and tatting and things like that.
How to do it like in wintertime, when you're dependent upon like fresh fruits and vegetables, but we don't have canned or in the freezer, and we do have to buy stuff like that. So that's hard, and you can't grow your own. And the other thing that's sort of hard is I'm here part of the day, and then I go to Siena Center and work in the business office there. But that's a blessing too, that something I can do where I can't do a lot of the physical work here.
I grew up simply. I always loved nature. I always loved animals. When I was a teacher, I raised chickens and ducks in my classroom and a lot of plants. And I love simple living. And I can't say that's hard.
Oh, the favorite part is just being outside and living and listening to all these beautiful sounds and sights. As we hear the birds chirping right now and the wind blowing, I feel like I'm an earth child.
Being here and living here and teaching is almost like a return to what I grew up with, the values of land and the interrelationship and the dependency on, creation, and dependency on God rather than chemicals.
To see the beauty of nature and the change of sceneries and the marvel that life comes in cycles.
I really believe in that statement that I quote a lot. We're not human beings on a spiritual path. We're spiritual beings on our human path. So having what we need and enjoying it and being grateful for it and knowing that I have enough of what I need is all.
In a sense, it's a calling. I think, in a sense, it's also what you grow up with. But you can learn to love the earth and to care for it and to live simply. If you have, I think you'd have to do some reading and visiting places where we're having a good time taking care of the earth, you know. You have to kind of gradually experience it. And I hope a lot of young people will. There was a little one here yesterday with his grandparents. I think he was barely 2 years old. But he was stopping at every ant hill, and they showed him a nest, and these animals, he was just in love with it. He didn't want to go home. So I think that some memory will stay with him, and he will want to work in caring for the earth.
Question yourselves about how do you live? Do I really need this? What effect is this going to have on the earth? And what effect is it going to have on the poor of our planet? Some of our conveniences and say, oh, you know, this is a great economic buy. But what effect does that have on the poor? Where is your clothing made? Where are your shoes made? Where are the products made that you buy? Oftentimes it's made in a third world country, and the people that make them get a pittance for a salary for doing that. So for young people, I'd say question yourselves about the effects of your buying habits, your entertainment habits, you know, the products that you use. And I think there are a lot of young people doing it. The future of the planet depends on how we take care of that. And when we started this, the Eco Justice Center, we wanted our house to be a house of hospitality also for people who are considering a simple lifestyle, to invite them to live with us. So just examine your lifestyle.
You know, it's a lot of work, and you have to be willing to do that, but the reward is very great. And you can't probably do it as alone. You have to work like in a group, because the staff here couldn't do it alone without the volunteers, and so many people have to work together to live sustainably.
Oh, I think an important part would be loving Earth and wanting to care for, and being grateful for other creatures on this earth, and interconnectedness. And valuing the gifts that we have, and respect and caring for, and that brings joy, and that kind of holy work, I'm going to say, is what will be fulfilling for their life.
Well, I just want to thank everyone who has helped to make this possible.